Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/relationship advice, where OP's cheating ex-girlfriend just simply won't let him go. Let's begin. My cheating ex-girlfriend emailed me after 1 year of no contact. Posted by Reddit user unknown person.
My girlfriend of 1 year broke up with me mid-December, got back with me a day later. Then after a week of great times again, she cheated on me with 2 separate guys, including her ex. I found out the hard way. I called her out on it and she broke up with me. Devastated and destroyed doesn't even begin to cover it. I'm on day 35 of no contact. I've been hitting the gym and seeing friends and family since day one. Although it still hurts, today I realized what a horrible fucking person she is, or maybe she is lost and still young. Her mom messaged me a couple of days after the second breakup, probably not aware of what her daughter done, and said as follows: I feel terrible. As much I love my daughter, she can be heartless sometimes, so I am really sorry about the way she has treated you. I know you were good for her and I know you loved her. I could see that. And I know she will not get anyone like you who will treat her like you did. She is a fool to let you go. I am totally gutted. Your shoes will be very hard to fill. I happened to read this message back today and it was my eureka moment. When your own mother acknowledges how heartless you are, then that's all I need to know. I still miss her, but I know it cannot be. Send me positive vibes, guys. It's been a tough pill to swallow. Update 1. So my ex broke up with me mid-December, came pleading back 2 days later, then proceeded to fuck 2 other guys including her ex. It's been a short of 3 months now. She done some petty breadcrumb shit in the first month. She is now liking my mum's Facebook posts about being thankful for her Mother's Day gifts from her sons, me and my 3 brothers. She was always worried my mum didn't like her and will know my mum knows she is a cheating wee whore. What's she up to? She doesn't even like her own mum's posts. My mum is still Facebook friends because she is nosy git, but I don't have my ex on any social media and have not had any contact since. Update 2. Cheating ex-girlfriend sent an email after 1 year of no contact. Long story short, was a relationship of 1 year. A great year. She broke up with me, came back 2 days later. Another great 2 weeks. Then she cheated on me with 2 guys. A guy from her work, which I challenged her on, and an ex whom I found about some time after through a friend of hers. She doesn't know I know about this. No contact was done properly. Self-improvement, gym, friends, dating, etc. Almost a year later, she emailed me as follows because I blocked her on all social media. It's been a while. I'm sorry to just come out of nowhere, but I have been meaning to speak to you for a while about how we left things. You probably hate me and that's fair, but I feel as though you deserve some sort of proper explanation and apology. I was in your town recently and was going to drop by as I wanted to do this in person, but your new company was around. Therefore I will keep this short. This is not a ploy to get back with you or making excuses or anything like that. I just wanted to clear the air for your sanity and closure, as well as mine. I feel so guilty about how we left things and regret that I didn't get the chance to tell you the truth. I honestly did love you. Again, not making excuses, but I was working so much, drowning in college work, and after you told me about the fiancé thing, I did lose some trust. And I know I should have spoken to you about it at the time, but I find it really hard to express my emotions and it all just became a bit overwhelming. And just so you know, I never slept with him while we were together. I know you may not believe me, but what have I got to lose? I'm doing it this way, not that I'm a coward, but that I don't want to disturb anything you have going on just now because you deserve to be happy. Delete this and forget I sent it. I just needed you to know. All the best. P.S. What is it with exes emailing you? Haha. I had a girl over, so she must have been outside my house and seen. Never thought she was capable of behavior like this, so you would be surprised. So they do reach out eventually, and when they do, it's actually more of an inconvenience. I'm in a good place now and it's only when you properly let go and do the self-improvement that they come back. If you were a good partner, and I was way too good to her, I won't be responding. What do you think she is trying to achieve here? She is still lying, so it's not to clear her conscience. Anyone else have successful no contact? Always curious to hear other views. Thanks.
OP, what she's trying to do here is to keep you in the back burner, so that after she's done whoring herself out to men left and right, you'll be waiting for her like a dumb puppy, happy and more willing to raise her 2 kids and pay for all of the bills. But I do still think that you should reply to her email just to flip her the bird. Say something along these lines. I don't think it's a great idea for us to ever meet up again, as I've decided to cut cheating hoes out of my life. I know you slept with your ex as well. I'm just glad you didn't give me any diseases. Or you can just simply do what she said and never respond to it and let her keep wondering. And now for today's second story. I caught my wife sending pics to my brother-in-law. Is our marriage salvageable at this point? Posted by Reddit user ThrowRA Wife Pics.
I really don't want to spam this sub. I posted today morning, but when I returned from the office my account was banned. This will be my last try to post this. My wife Jessica and I have been married for 3 years. We dated for 2 years before that and we have 2-year-old daughter. Jessica has 2 sisters. The eldest one is married to Jake. A week ago, I came home from work early and wanted to scare Jessica. I tried to be sneaky, but somehow I slipped and accidentally hurt my back. Jessica came to my rescue. I went to the bedroom, and she went to the kitchen to get an ice pack. Her phone was by the bed, and a WhatsApp notification came from Jake saying, "You've got the best pair I've ever seen." I immediately knew what was happening. I unlocked the phone and saw that she had just sent some pics and video of her tits to Jake, and there were no previous chats before that. When Jessica came back to the room, I showed her the chat and asked, "How long?" I have known this woman for 10 years, and I have never seen her so mortified. Her eyes got teary and she said, "Babe, I am sorry, but I can explain," so I said go on. According to her, at the end of 2019 she was struggling with money, and Jake suggested he would help her out. He hinted that he would like to see her pics. So she did send him pics and it continued over the years. She swears there was nothing emotional or physical involved. It was purely transactional. I didn't believe any of it, but she showed me on Venmo. That motherfucker paid her $300 yesterday. I then told her, it's been 5 years. Try to remember if anything physical happened. For me, if even half of what she is saying is true, how could something like that not become physical? She started crying and told me she could prove it tomorrow, because Jake would get suspicious if she tried to talk to him now. I took her phone, went to a bar, got wasted for the night, and when I came back, she was still there crying. I just slept on the couch. Next morning I gave her the phone and she called Jake. Conversation goes something like this. Jessica, hey, I was wondering if you want some more pics. Jake, I'm short on money. Yesterday I spent all of it. Jessica, we can do something more this time and meet in person. I've changed my mind about that. Jake, no way. How much are we talking about? I felt like I was going to puke. I told her that we are done and left for the office. I am not a very wealthy dude, but I would consider myself a stable guy who could take care of his family. Now I just feel like I have failed as a man whose wife had to sell her body to meet her expected lifestyle. When I got home that night, she looked like shit. I asked Jessica why she kept taking money from him after we got married, and why she didn't ask me while we were dating. She said she didn't know how to stop and that it was easy money. I left my home that night and told her she can keep the home and the car, but I want 50-50 custody of my child. So here I am now, haven't told anyone about this. It's been a week since, staying in a hotel. I go home in the evening to play with my daughter. I'm speaking with divorce lawyers, and Jessica is constantly talking about marriage counseling. Now for OP's first update. Before getting to the update, some people were asking me to get a paternity test. I don't need one. I know she is my daughter because I am Indian and Jessica is white, and my daughter looks like me. Now for the update. After I made that post, I shared my situation with my sister. She is the only family member I have living in the States. I visited her place the next day, and she knocked some sense into me. I realized part of me still didn't want a divorce because I basically married Jessica against my parents' will. They wanted me to have an arranged marriage, so my failed marriage would hurt my ego. She also arranged a meeting with a divorce lawyer, and no, I am not giving up my house. I was just emotional at that time. From what I understand, in our state adultery has pretty much zero impact on the assets, so it will likely be a 50-50 split. However, there is a high chance I can get better custody of my daughter because I have a job, and Jessica doesn't. She is also involved in sex work at this point, which could work in my favor. My father-in-law called me last evening and he was crying. He told me he didn't know what to say to me and that if he were in my place, he would have left her. Apparently, Jessica got scared and told her family everything after I didn't come home for 2 days and had blocked her everywhere. I guess I should have done that a little while ago, and Jake is out of his house also. So I think I will go for a divorce, because there is no point of reconciliation at this point when the whole relationship seems fake to me. And now, for OP's final update. I think it will be my last update. In short, I caught my wife exchanging nudes with her brother-in-law for money and I was going for a divorce. Before getting to the update, some people were cursing me in my messages saying I might not earn enough and accusing me of financially abusing my wife and taking advantage of her. I don't think this is the case for me. My salary is close to mid-six figures. We have a joint account where I put half of my in-hand salary and we don't even spend that much. For those who were confused about the relationships in my post, my wife was exchanging pics with her brother-in-law, not mine. Now to the update. After the day Jessica told everyone about the situation, my mother-in-law called and wanted to talk. She was with Jessica after the whole thing happened. I returned to my home later that evening, and her parents and her sister, Josie, was there. After I got there, Jessica wanted to talk alone. According to her, Jake was trying to pursue her since she was about 16 or 17. For context, Jake and Josie have been together for 20 years now. This continued for almost 2 years. He used to make suggestive comments about her body, and she told Josie about it. But Josie didn't believe Jessica at that time and told her she was doing this for attention. Jessica didn't tell her parents either because according to her, Josie was their parents' favorite, so nobody would have believed her. Jake didn't do anything between those years besides casual flirting, until 2019 when Jessica was having problems with rent and the whole transactional thing happened. I asked why she didn't ask me about it, and she said we were only 1 month into dating, and it could have looked bad. She swears nothing happened after that until last year, when Jake and Josie started having problems in their marriage and he started messaging Jessica again. She didn't entertain him at first, but she had gained some weight from pregnancy and thought I was ignoring her because of it, which I was not. At that time, I was working close to 13 to 14 hours a day to change my niche to another tech stack. Massive layoffs were also going on, so it was a pretty bad time. Now, she admitted that she liked the attention and validation this time. She called herself an attention whore, but she didn't have any feelings towards him. They started exchanging pics and money and this happened 3 times. Then she admitted it was cheating, although there were no emotional or physical actions from her side, but she said that she shouldn't have done it. I asked her why she didn't tell me about Jake harassing her when we first met or started dating. She said she thought I wouldn't have believed her and that it was in the past. Then I asked why she didn't tell me the first time I found out about this. Her answer was the same. She thought that I wouldn't have believed her because nobody else knew about this. I was just sad about the fact she doesn't trust me enough to tell me about such a horrific incident. Now, I did something I am not very proud of. I asked her about a paternity test. I know it was stupid, but emotionally I was in a weird place at that moment. She was totally emotionless throughout the whole conversation, but after hearing about the test, she broke down crying and started hyperventilating. I started crying too. After about 10 minutes or so, we stopped crying and she said okay, then asked me if we were getting a divorce. I said I don't know. She then said we should get a postnup before I do something like that. That line felt like a tight slap to my face. I was like, you're not even gonna convince me not to go through with it. Then she left with her parents. The next day she called crying, asking not to get a divorce and to start marriage counseling. Obviously I said okay. So here we are now after some weird couple of days, still getting the postnup. Her therapy starting next week, our marriage counseling starting next month. Hopefully trust will return someday. Also Jake is denying all that. According to him, Jessica seduced him for money and my sister-in-law is getting a divorce. I know some people are gonna call me a doormat, but I don't care. TLDR, we are not getting a divorce anymore. Bye.
So she was selling pictures of her tits while her husband was earning 6 digits a year to her brother-in-law, no less. What? You actually believe that, OP? Look, I'm a kind man, so I'm not going to shame you for being a doormat. Doormats are needed in society. It prevents the men who will come over to bang your wife from tracking mud all over the floor. Plus, who will raise and pay for their children afterwards? Why, of course, men like you. Thank you so much for your service, man. So, okay, we're done. You know, since you don't care what any of us has to say, despite the fact that you posted on r/relationship advice.
Well, sir, if you're having a problem with our customer support, you can call 1-800-EAT-A-DICK.
Well, good luck to you, OP. Good luck with living the rest of your life as a bitter and miserable cuck. Cheers! And I'll definitely be looking forward to when you post here again, crying like a little bitch because you caught her having more clients than what she told you. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.